Hey, if you've ever wondered, hey, how do I market myself as a life coach or a fitness coach or even a business coach? You know what? You've come to the right place. We're going to talk about that over the next few minutes. When we can live life on our terms, on a holistic level, taking into account not just our business lives, but also our health, all of our relationships, from friends, family, partners, the world changes. So when it comes to marketing, there's a ton of different ways to do it. And you know what? There's no real wrong way to do it. The reality, though, is that a lot of people throw a lot of money at stuff, and it doesn't necessarily always work. The one true form is to start early and build raving fans. How can you get testimonials that lead to referrals, that's going to lead to creating some sort of form of base where you are, so you can start to build from that? Now, I know you've heard this, and I tell you what, there are people all over the internet that will promise you everything from AdWords to Instagram, the gram, to YouTube, to a huge variety of things. And I'm not saying that these aren't possible. The reality is that they are. I've done a gazillion different things. I've spent well over 100 grand to watch none of it work. The one thing that is consistently, uniformly, over and over and over worked has been, without a doubt, referrals and word of mouth. So what we're going to talk about a little bit here when it comes to marketing yourself and how do you build it is to start with how do we start building a base that will then lead to where we can get referrals that can then build and grow on themselves. So when it starts, if you're new to the business, let's say you're new to a life coaching business, maybe you have the Life on Your Terms certification. That's something that is available. Go to lifeon-yourterms.com. We've got other videos on that on the channel. Please check it out. But you have this, and when it starts with the key, when you're starting this, when you're starting your marketing for your coaching practice, I want you to be really, really clear on A, who is your target market, and B, what is your value proposition? So target market is going to be, some people would call it the demographic, the geographic, and the psychographic. The demographic, who are they? The people. So if you are I just had worked with somebody earlier today. She's a gal who's a world-class runner, professional runner, ultra runner. She's also a mom, lives up in the high country of Colorado. Okay? For her sweet spot are badass runners. But you know what? If they also are a mom and they're willing to talk about some of the other opportunities that they have in life, and they're really looking to try and figure out what's the stories that are holding them back because she's certified in Life on Your Terms, that's the kind of thing that says, wow, wait a minute. I start to see that's my demographic is going to be moms. Geographic could be people who are visiting in Colorado, or they're willing to work with her virtually. And then the psychographic are going to be the moms. What is it they really value? They value that she also is a mom, that she's had some adversity and some ups and downs, but that she's figuring that stuff out. And she also doesn't just address the physical mechanics of running, particularly on those big ultra runs, because that's such a minimal thing. It's so much more up here. So she's defined who those people are. Then the second piece then is going to be to start looking at what is the value proposition. The value proposition comes down to, what do I care? What is it that you're actually selling? Now, when it comes to value props, this is an area where most people suck. Most people want to go through and they want to talk about all their quote-unquote features and benefits. These are the things we do, this is what I'm going to take you through, all this other stuff. Don't care about that. You want people to ask about those things. But what you can do is get them to understand what are the outcomes that you can possibly deliver. So an example or an exercise is if you went through and said, okay, you were working with somebody, you're a fitness coach, whatever type of coach you are, whatever it may be. I want you to go through and list out 50 things where it's worth at least 25 grand for each one of those things if they were to happen by somebody working with you. So for the runner, it could mean that somebody doesn't have a heart attack. They regain their girlish or their boyish figure. They complete a marathon that they never thought possible. They start sleeping better at night. They avoid other health consequences. Long story short is you can start figuring out that those are all the things that are the outcomes that you're delivering. When you become certified at Life on Your Terms, as a coach who's certified with Life on Your Terms, what does that mean you have? Well, it means that you can address the whole person. You can go deeper with your clients. And as a result then, it means that you're going to increase your retention, as well as you'll drive more dollars to your bottom line. Now, I didn't tell you how, I didn't go into all the tools, I didn't go into the mechanics, but it's more of a high level. The value proposition is, for me, for Life on Your Terms, it allows people to go deeper with their clients. Okay, how? Well, we use these fancy magic beans. We don't, we have proven tools and courses that you get access to and all that. But the point is as a coach, if you're a health coach and you're diving in, what are the results you're driving? You know what? I'm going to help you feel better about yourself, your physical. Help you feel better about yourself and how you're going to sleep better. You're going to avoid that hospital. Maybe your romantic life will get better. Whatever those pieces are. But those are the value props that you're selling. Now, once you have that, then it's going to allow you to start digging in and figuring out, all right, I know who I'm going after. I know where they are. Maybe they're online or in a geographic area. And then I know what they value. These are the things that I'm delivering. Now, if you run across somebody else and they say, hey, yeah, I don't really care about those things. Great, that means we're part friends. We don't have to invest the time worrying about that we're not the right fit for those people. I realize this seems a little bit cumbersome, but when you start to figure these things out and you start drilling down on these, it's really going to help you be clearer on who you're after, what amazing looks like, and what you're genuinely offering. You have to know those things when you start doing those things when you're marketing. Now, when you start, you may have some good ideas of what you want, where you want to be, what you think is right, but it's conjecture. Unless you've actually proven it, you're not really sure. So at this point, when you're marketing, you may choose to go out and start giving it away, or do it at a substantially discounted rate. What you're looking to do is do what's called a POC, or proof of concept. You want to prove what you're doing works. Now, you may have an idea that what you're presenting is spot on, that it's what matters. You go in there and realize that people are, not really. Or, yeah, but I prefer to think of it as this way. Maybe you're using different words. But what it does is it starts to allow you to learn. So people are like, you want me to work for free? I'm like, well, you may not be getting paid, but what you're getting out of it is going to be tremendously valuable. What you're going to be getting out of it is, A, you're going to be proving your concept. But then also when you start, if you do this, I encourage you right off the bat to say, look, I'm willing to do this and set some guardrails. I'll do it for 3 months on me or at a discounted rate, then we'll talk about it. And out of this, if you feel you got value, I'm going to ask you in advance that you feel you got value out of this. I'm going to ask you for a testimonial so I can put it on a website, or I can put it on Instagram, whatever it may be. And then also I'm going to ask you for 2 referrals. Who do you think that I could be helping? But I'm going to ask you and encourage you when you're doing your marketing to do this early, because that way you're establishing the expectations. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm expecting in exchange for this work. Now, so you're learning out of it, you're refining your message, you're getting the wording that people are using on what values for them. In addition then, as you continue to build and go down there, ideally you're going to get referrals and you're going to get raving fans. You do this well, and then this cycle will start to repeat itself and build and build and build. Now, as you go and you start to refine exactly who is it we're trying to get in front of, where can we find them, the narrower it is, the better. And then what is the value proposition, what are the keywords you're looking for? Your life's going to start to get easier and easier and easier. And you now actually have some of the basic tools that you may need if you want to start going out and doing your own marketing. You want to start going out on LinkedIn or on Facebook or wherever it may be. Now, this is something that usually you have to invest quite a bit of time and energy in to figure it out. But I would also encourage, from a marketing perspective, look at the ancillary areas. Look at the areas that maybe aren't the most popular. Sometimes those do really, really well. Oddly, in certain cases, direct mail is one of the most effective marketing campaigns that's still out there. But people say, oh, it's dead. Where can you be going? How can you then start getting in front of people that are going to value what you do? I like to say, people are like, well, where should you fish? Where the fish are. Once you have a clear, defined area of who you're going after, what they value, and what your value proposition is, what problem are you clearly solving, and you have a good way of saying it and you can roll off your tongue, great. Then it allows you to go in and start diving in and working with people in a little different way. And you can go in and start having those conversations. And this will refine and build and refine and build and refine and build. Now, one last thing. When you start with it, you may say, look, I'm going to work with 3 people and I'm going to do those 3 people on me because I'm learning and I'm building fans. Great. Then the next 3 people, I'm going to do at a discounted rate of maybe 50%. Cool. Great. Then the next 3 people, okay, then I'm going to do those at 75%, and the next 3 at 100%, or whatever. But you see, the point is establish those guardrails up front of what your plan is, when you're going to step in and how you're going to step in. Now, the very last thing is, as you're doing this, make sure that you have a little bit of flexibility. Really be curious on what's working for people and what isn't. What have they tried in the past and what has failed? Because there may be certain things where, what are additional value adds you can add? Are there different resources? Are there different tools? Are there different things that you can be adding into your offering that's going to make you unique? Now, all of these things together are going to help you define how can we be more proactive, and then how is it we can really start to market our new business, whether it's coaching practice and fitness, life coaching, business coaching, whatever it may be. So when you do that, then you can start figuring out how can I go deeper and get more relationships. If you'd like to learn more, we'd love to talk to you. You're welcome to join us at lifeon-yourterms.com. And as always, if you enjoyed this, please click like and join our channel. Keep smiling, everybody.